Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another tactic, and today we are using a 5 in the back tactic that rocks an unbelievable libero. With the movement allowed in this year's game, things are so much better in FM24 with this particular role, and we are putting it to the test. We tried this with Leicester City. They cakewalked to the championship, as you would expect. We also tried this with Fenerbahce, who won a domestic double and also got to the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League in our testing, and we did it with Manchester City as the good team, the ultimate team, the elite team, and they went on to win basically everything, missing out on just one trophy this season. This is what the tactic looks like, and I know what you're thinking, Steve, why does GYR hate midfielders? He doesn't. It works really, really well, and the fact that the libero actually pushes up in this year's game really allows it to more look like a 4-3-3, dare I say, with the double Mezzala and the double wide wingers. It works supremely well. What we're going to do is we're going to quick pick without restriction the Manchester City best 11 so you can kind of see the players that work in this particular spot. And look who's been suggested as the libero. It's Rodri. And he is the perfect person. It basically allows him to get the ball deeper and kind of hold and occupy this particular position. We're going to go through each and every instruction that you guys need to get this into your tactic screen and get it into your game. But this is a very, very good tactic. I'm very impressed with it, having used it in testing. So starting off in goal, we have a sweeper keeper, which is of course Addons in this tactic, with the additional instruction of tackle harder, which is with the white cog and the red circle, sweeper keeper on defend. Get to the edit button and you hit tackle harder there. Moving into the wingbacks. Now we have wingbacks on both sides, but they do have the same instruction set. So both in the right back and the left back spot, we have wingbacks on support with cross less often, shoot less often, sit narrower, and tackle harder. Now we also have two ball playing defenders on either side of the midfield man. That is obviously Akanji and Diaz in this tactic, and they are both ball playing defenders on defensive duty with dribble more, close down less, and tackle harder. So these guys will also bring the ball out with the dribble more whilst they have it and you're in possession, but the close down less means they kind of sit off a little bit. Close down less is also a little bit of one which you guys sometimes struggle to find. It's this trigger press option up here, guys, so you need to make sure that it is set to less often, because if we pop it on balance you can see that disappears, and if we take it to trigger press less often, close down less will appear. Now the main man in this tactic is the libero on support duty here, with the additional instruction of shoot less often, hold position, tackle harder, and mark tighter. Now whilst this player is set to hold position, he will kind of fluctuate in between here, but what it basically does is stop the libero ending up alongside Erling Haaland. Then in the midfield, we have two Mezzalas. Of course, they are on the same instruction set as well. Both Mezzalas on attack duty with tackle harder on these guys. The two wide players that really do give you the width in this tactic are both wingers on attack duty with the additional instruction again of tackle harder. Then up front is the big man, Erling Haaland. He got 45 goals in this tactic. 85 goals in this tactic. Advance forward, tackle harder on Erling Haaland. The tactical style is a KANG style, but G has just saved this himself with this custom name. You guys can select any one of these, doesn't really matter. We would either go with clean slate, gegenpress, vertical tiki-taka. It honestly doesn't really matter, guys. Then it is an attacking mentality, and in possession, guys, this is how we are set up. Fairly wide in terms of that attacking width. We are passing into space in terms of our approach play, focusing play down the left and the right, and we are playing out of defense. The passing directness is set up to shorter, with that higher tempo cranked all the way up to the top. Low crosses in that final third. We're not doing anything in terms of our delivery, and we are running at the defense in terms of our dribbling style. In transition, this is how we are set up. Counter pressing when possession has been lost, and countering when possession has been won. And you can see all of the bodies that flood forward here with that. Our distribution type is set to roll it out with no particular targets as well. Then out of possession, this is how we are set up. A high press in terms of that line of engagement, a higher defensive line, triggering that press much more often and preventing that short goalkeeper distribution. Now you can see this one works an absolute treat. KDB with 30. Obviously we touched on the 85 for Haaland, double digits for Nunes. We've also got double digits for Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Kovacic also getting 10 as well. So there's nicely spread goals throughout this team, but it absolutely funnels the ball into the back of the net and is pretty solid defensively. Check it out if you do like this content. Check out this playlist. It's all the tactics that G has released on this year's game.